Good morning. This is Bill from Out of Europe in Naples, and today I've got a car that, is frankly not something that I would have gravitated towards, although, in fairness, I did pick it out and purchase it. And I'll tell you why. Because despite the accoutrements on the car that, hearken to another era, the vinyl top, the chrome trim, the chrome mirrors, the chrome door handles, it sort of took me back. My first job was at a Buick dealership. Going back, 1989, 1990, I was kind of the lot boy, if you will, the used car manager's assistant. I drove cars around. I took them to get batteries in them. And some of them we took to a place where they installed vinyl tops. This was still quite a big thing in 1989 and 1990. The guys who listened to the Benny Goodman Orchestra and, or the Miles Davis Quintet even, they were buying cars that looked a bit like this, but you just don't see them anymore. It's a bit of a lost thing. No longer does the guy at the Buick store say, look at that one. That one looked better with the top on it. Let's go send it out. So they would do that. I guess it just sort of brought back memories of my youth. Now, again, this is a 2012 Lincoln MKZ. It's a very easy car to slip past your radar, and that's kind of a shame because it's a great car. I mean, it's not particularly great at, being sporty, at handling, at, being a car that really stands out. But it is a great car. It's based on the Fusion, Mercury Milan platform. Very much renowned as being reliable, well-built, nicely put together, good to drive, good commuter cars, which is what this is. And, if you gave me the choice between this, even in this trim, and a Lexus ES330 of any trim, or ES350, I'm going to go with this because it just has more soul, never mind more visual impact. And if you're a guy looking for visual impact, this car is going to do it. And, being metallic silver with the black top and the chrome wheels, it's not as loud as it could be. It manages to get the point across, very, very plainly, but not doing so with a sledgehammer. It's got more of a mallet appeal. Anyway, you've got to give Lincoln credit for the redesign they did from 10 to 12 on the front. They adopted the grills off the, what the hell is that thing? Their SUV, the MKS. Really, really looks much better. Beautiful big swooping headlights into the grill effect. They're xenons. You've got fog lamps down low. That was a really nice, design touch from Lincoln. The chrome wheels on this car, they look good. They're perfect. Someone's tacked on a chrome strip down on the rocker panel that matches nicely. And look at these big wraparound taillights. That are frankly very, very cool and distinctly set the car apart. You see the big twice pipes there at the bottom, letting that Duratec V6 breathe. You got backup sensors and even a little deck lid spoiler that's quite subtle. And then, of course, this vinyl roof. It's look at that, the presidential edition with that nicely redesigned antenna that used to be a little. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a little better now, and the way it's cut in, even the sunroof and the vinyl top, which is kind of fantastic. Another reason I was drawn to this car is because I had just never, ever seen, a 2012 MKZ that was this immaculate and had such low miles. 13,000 miles on this car, so it is essentially like new. So you can buy yourself what, was a $40,000 car with almost no miles on it for just less than half of that. I mean, it's incredible, how much depreciation can help you out sometimes. Anyway, let's get into this thing. I know you guys are expecting me to hate it, but I just don't. I drove this car for a couple of days. I enjoyed the way it drove. I enjoyed the way it felt, and I just think it's a pretty good car. Okay, here in the trunk, you can see you've got lots and lots of room for stuff. You're not going to be able to, get, you can get anything you want in here. It's not a problem. It's got that same pull tag that the town cars have with the guy leaping to freedom, so this would be a good car for mobsters. You can pull these guys here. Those are going to flip down the rear seats if you need more cargo room, and all in all, an extremely useful trunk for what is essentially a mid-size luxury car. I even like this little pull strap they have to get the hood back down. Have a look under the hood. And here's a little sneak peek of the interior, which is frankly my favorite part of this car. See if I can find the pull handle in here anywhere. No, I can't. We're not getting the hood up. It's just not going to happen. Can't be found. God, what the ever-loving... There it is. Oh my God, that's a heavy hood. Oh yeah, because it's got a prop rod. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it up for a minute. But there's a 3.5 liter Duratec V6. Again, of the famed, Ford Fusion variety, 268 horsepower, very, very smooth, nice and torquey. Now again, this thing has 13,000 miles on it, so you would expect it to be perfect under here, and it does not disappoint. It is absolutely stellar condition. Anyway, everything lovely under there, made into a nice smooth 6-speed automatic, and just a fantastic drivetrain in this car. Wow, is that a heavy hood? They could have lightened that up. Have a look at the back. Okay, so back here, this is really nice stuff. You've got these piped leather seats with perforation. It is beautiful, beautiful, soft, lovely leather in this car. I mean, Lincoln just outdid themselves. That must have been a quarter of the sticker price, the leather that they ordered. You got nice door panels with lovely wood and chrome trim. It's all very beautifully designed, I have to say. I mean, it just looks sleek and nice in here. You got little map pockets where you can stick your Mac 10s. You got what do you got here? Center console with some cup holders, lovely. You got these weird little rear headrests which you can flip forward. And anyway, legroom, fair, good enough. Not going to be too miserable. Your Canadians would be happy. But it's not enormous either, but adequate, and that's enough in this class. Okay, up front, I think this is where this car really shines. I mean, the fit and finish, the soft touch materials, the true wood, the chrome, the accents, it's just very, very nice. It's a nice mixture of old and new. It reminds me a little bit of a vintage American car, while at the same time, paying homage to, to its European styling. So you've got dual power seats. They have standard heating and ventilation. Very nice. Again, I love the little brown piping on the leather. I like the Lincoln crests and the headrests. I think that's quite cool. Beautiful wood and leather steering wheel. Of course, automatic headlamps. It's just a nice place to be, and we're going to hop in and be there. We got our seatbelt on. I've got that light in the camera again. I keep meaning to go back and check the settings, but okay, so you've got this kind of neat backlit gauges, sort of Lexus style. And you get the key in and fire it up. Everything is hard one-handed, truly. Okay, so the gauges all come to life. Very, very nice. Beautiful display. I wish the light on the camera wasn't on. You'd see the glow better, but a very, very attractive instrument cluster, and just what you need. You got your tack over there on the left. You got your speedo. Of course, in the middle, your temp and fuel over to the right. You can see just 13,000 miles on this thing, which is epic. The beautiful trim, the real wood, the chrome, the way it all comes together is just nice. You got a big power sunroof up here, works great. You can let in the night sky. Lovely stuff. It comes standard with a 9-speaker Premium audio system with Ford Sync. Very, very nice system. Easy to connect all your stuff to it. You know, lovely. What do we got here? God, I don't have my glasses on, so it's hard to see. It's funny, I can't see any of the... oh, there we go. Let's see. We have Sirius. Yeah, we got satellite. Nice. We've got AM, FM, CD, auxiliary input, in-dash CD. You know, everything you kind of need. If I had my glasses on, I could see all this better. There's all your HVAC controls. It's got hot side, cool side. Here's your cool seats, your hot seats. Same for the passenger. So that's all very nice. Everyone gets to be comfy. This, again, lovely multifunction wheel with the wood and the leather and the titanium looking trim. Just all very nice. Glove box. You got a set of books in here. What do you got? A window sticker of some variety. Let's see what this thing cost. And look at that, about 37 grand. So not an inexpensive car, you know, fairly expensive for what is essentially a Fusion. Of course, your set of books, everything nice in there. Lovely, there it is, Microsoft Sync setup. You got a badge for that. You got your leather and chrome shifter there. If you want to shift it manumatically, you go over to the right. You can bang your way through the gears. You've got some cup holders here, which are nice and simple. Not like the cup holders on a BMW that are going to break. These things are just always going to work. You won't even have to think about them. The center console, kind of neat the way it can slide forward. You got a place to put your toll money, and then there you got a very nice deep pocket with your USB and auxiliary input, and a nice place to store a 357. All right, let's go for a spin. We got HomeLink garage door stuff. We got a mirror store. I always, whenever these cars come in, I always pop those open, seeing if somebody forgot their Ray-Bans, but they never do. You can hear the blowing from the cool seat there. You know, these Lincoln cool seats are much more, you know, hyper than the Mercedes ones, which you can't really feel at all. You just know your back's dry. With the Lincoln, it's trying to eject you out the sunroof, which is nice. Now, in some of the stuff I read on the web, they were complaining about the steering. They said for what's essentially a sports sedan, which I don't think this is, that the steering was a bit too light. And I have to disagree. You know, it just doesn't have that, you know, zero resistance feel that I was expecting after reading that. It feels like it has quite nice input. You're definitely not steering this thing with a pinky. So you do get pretty proper road feel. It's funny how you got to sneak. I mean, there's people just don't want to let you in. They just, it's like going to ruin their whole day if they let somebody get in front of them on the road. You know, good power from that V6. A nice steady pull. Very soft, lovely ride. Of course, the tires are, you know, essentially like new. You know, I think the steering's nice. I don't feel the play in it that people were talking about. Maybe it was improved for 12. Some of the stuff I was reading was about 2010s. But I think the steering feels great. Very BMW-ish. You got your power mirrors up there. The mirrors themselves are a bit of an interesting affair. They're defrostable with heating. They've got the built-in little blind spot things, so the old guys don't have to put those little circle mirrors on the corners. They're already there for you. And there it is. I mean, I'm just in a lovely, buttery, soft leather seat. Nice seating position. Nice visibility. You know, it feels like a luxury car. Not in the way a town car does, but it does sort of feel buttery and pampery the way a Lexus does, but with a bit more driving feel. And frankly, I think much better ergonomics inside, and a much better, I mean, this is much more attractive than what you get in a Lexus ES. Way more. It's stylized, it's lovely. You know, Lincoln went a bit hip, and you can really feel that in this car. So anyway, there it is. I know everyone was expecting a really angry review about this car, but it's not a Prius. It's just not something I'm going to hate. This thing reminds me of my youth. It reminds me of, the old Park Avenues and LeSabres and, Olds 98s we had in the lot that were, part of my life growing up. And I get that same vibe out of this. And, the car stands out. I mean, anyone can drive one of these egg-shaped things that you pull into the parking lot. Nobody sees, differentiated by color. You might have trouble finding it in the parking lot when you come out. You're not going to have that problem in this car. It's got its own style. It's got an interesting look. I think it's been done very, very well. These sort of accoutrement upgrades like the roof and the chrome, the hand-painted pinstripes. The car is very, very quality from top to bottom, and with 13,000 miles, that's why I bought it. That's why I got it. I like driving it. I like looking at it. So anyway, if you have an interest in this thing, and you should, it really is a neat piece, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We really appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.